Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel as Mike's Talks and Thoughts here, back again with another House of the Dragon review. We have a House of the Dragon Season 1, Episode 10, The Black Queen here. And of course this is the season finale for Season 1 here. There will be spoilers in this video for all of House of the Dragon Season 1, so definitely be aware of that in this video here. Without further ado, let's talk about and get into discussion about the season 1 finale. So the season 1 finale, this is one that's going to have a lot of mixed opinions among the fandom here. You know, I'm someone who's never read the books here, but I do know a decent amount about the history or the story of A Song of Ice and Fire. That is one thing that I did a lot after Game of Thrones, and especially before House of the Dragon started, learning a lot more about this lore and understanding the story. And I've been seeing stuff online, kind of unavoidable at this point for most people here. And I think a lot of people are going to have the issue of the end scene here with Aemon and Luke here. This is the big event that happens at Storm's End here, where Rhaenyra, of course, is sending everyone out to try and find allies for now they believe this war they're going to have to fight. And we see Luke going to meet with House Baratheon, and Aemon's already there. Aemon, of course, already with the Greens and entering a deal with the Baratheons, and Lucerys here cannot have a good counteroffer here. So Aemon and Lucerys, have had this tension the whole season. Lucerys, of course, was the one who took Aemon's eye out, and one thing that I absolutely loved was them putting the sapphire in his eye that I know he's very famously known for in the books. But that was really cool to see, and just they've been having tension all season. He put his eye out, and just conflict with Aemon here. It's been something that's been boiling over, and we see Aemon here tells him to put his own eye out here because of what he did to him, and just the disrespect that he has for coming over here and trying to take House Baratheon. Of course, both sides believing that they have the rightful heir to the Iron Throne. And we see here Lucerys and Arax here, his dragon, fly off trying to go back, and it's really stormy out and really not good weather to be riding. And Aemon, with the largest dragon in the world, Vhagar, comes, and he's kind of toying with him at first, just trying to see how things are going. But when he was on the ground and when they were talking on the ground, he seemed very serious. But now it just seems like he's just kind of toying with them. And then we see the big scene of the episode here in Vhagar going off, and against Aemon's request, this is where a big change, and a lot of people are going to be split on it, is divided here. Aemon's dragon goes rogue and kills Lucerys and Arax here. They fall off and they both die here. So that was something that I know a lot of people are not a fan of, and personally, same here. I actually really did enjoy this episode. That if I could make one change, it would be that Aemon was purposely doing this, because there's an event that's going to happen pretty early in season 2 called Blood and Cheese. I'm not going to spoil anything with Blood and Cheese, but if you know, it's going to put that into a whole different perspective here, knowing that Aemon did it on accident and not on purpose here. I know that George has worked with this team, especially for season 1, so I don't know if he purposely made this change or what the deal was with this change. Maybe they thought it would be better. I feel like, too, they are not trying to lean in with these characters on being completely good or completely evil. Alicent, I've heard stories that, she, in the books, can't stand Rhaenyra the whole, pretty much ever since she married Viserys. She has no feelings at all towards Rhaenyra, but in the show, that's not the case. And then Aemon here, accidentally killing Luke here, didn't want to kill him on purpose. That's going to have really major consequences and misunderstandings for Blood and Cheese. So that was sort of the main thing here that I wanted to address here. But honestly, if you take that out and replace it, this episode was pretty great. I actually really enjoyed it. We see here Rhaenys coming with Meleys, her dragon, and telling Rhaenyra and Daemon and everyone at Dragonstone that Viserys has died and that Alicent has usurped the throne and given it to Aegon here. And we see Rhaenyra is just so distraught about this, and she actually miscarries. She is pregnant and miscarries here, so she's just so distraught. Daemon here is wanting war, and Rhaenyra is like the one who's kind of holding everything back and is like, we need allies, we're not going to be able to win this war, I don't want war. And the crown is also Eric here, one of the twins, is over, and he brings the crown, Viserys' crown that he had to Rhaenyra, and she, everyone starts bending the knee and showing that she is queen. And we see this cool scene with Otto and his group and Daemon, very similar to, I believe it was the first or second episode, where, Daemon and Otto meet on that bridge, and we see Otto coming to terms with Rhaenyra here. He says that you need to acknowledge Aegon as king, and nothing bad will happen. We'll give you all your titles and make sure that you are still in high standing with everyone. But she's like, no. She's like, no, let me think about it. And then Daemon's like, no. And he's like, he just wants full-on out war. This is like his point at this point is staying on full-on war, which, I think is kind of cool for his character. That's another thing that people have been complaining about with this season somewhat, especially towards the end, is Daemon's character, I guess, a little bit changed here and, seems like completely evil, but I'm not really getting that vibe from him. I think that he is, just trying to protect his wife here and doing what is right and thinking that she is the rightful heir to the throne. So we see, Daemon, he's ready to go to war with Otto, and, Rhaenyra is the one who kind of holds them back. So, like I said, after that, they go back and they plot to try and get allies, and this is, of course, where Lucerys goes to Storm's End and gets killed accidentally by Aemon here. We'll have to see how that plays moving into next season. I think that's going to be one thing that divides the fandom here. But I still think that this was a solid episode, even with that little change. I would give it an 8.5 out of 10 for this episode here. I know, like I said, a lot of people are going to be split on this. I think that it was good. It would probably be a little bit higher if they would have just made Aemon do it on purpose, give him that purpose, and make Blood and Cheese hit even harder, because it would feel right. But so many people were also complaining that this was just such a big misunderstanding, and that is true with a lot of wars, that they start and they're dealt with by misunderstandings and people not hashing it out correctly here. So we will see here how House of the Dragon moves forward here. But yeah, so that's going to do it for the Season 1 Episode 10 review, and I'm going to be coming back with a Season 1 review for the show, maybe doing a characters tier, which we might see. I might hold off on that until a little bit later on in the show, but for now here, definitely a solid first season. That's all I'm going to say. Definitely a solid first season. Definitely going to go way more in depth in my season review, and also talking about it in my year-end review of every show that I saw for the year. So yeah, that's going to do it here. Everybody take care and peace out.